Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning in. Hopefully all of you are staying safe and healthy in this weird time, and hopefully it'll be over soon. And so before we get started with this video, I'd just like to say, if at any point you guys like what you see in this video, feel free to hit the like button. Also consider subscribing. I'm going to be trying to be pushing out more content, get this channel started and up and running. And so if you'd like to join me on that journey, you're more than welcome to. Anything you see in this video, I'll be putting it in the description below, as well as all my mods that I have currently on my car, and also my Instagram. So if you'd like to see more of my car, my Instagram will be down there. And so today, I have an aftermarket head unit that I'm going to be reviewing. I bought this a couple months ago, so I had the time to test it out, try out its features, and kind of get used to it. And so today I'll be doing a quick little review, telling you guys all about it and telling you guys how much I like it. So let's go. So this head unit is the Dasaita 9-inch Android 10.0 head unit. I got it from Amazon for a pretty decent price, in my opinion, for $469. Now this head unit was made specifically for WRX and Forester of, I forgot which years, but they fit almost perfectly into the 2017 and below Crosstrek, and I'm guessing the Impreza too. I'll touch more on a bit on that later. But if you have a Subaru, you know that the stock head unit is absolutely garbage. The number of features is very limited. The accessibilities was limited. My Bluetooth song titles never changed past the first song, and the sound quality was alright. So all in all, I think that if you get a Subaru, you should definitely plan on switching to an aftermarket head unit. That's just my opinion, and after this video, you might be convinced to do so. But let's go ahead and get into the features. So right off the bat, you of course have the Android system and interface. It came with a bunch of apps like YouTube and Google and a bunch of other apps already pre-installed. And everything you see here is customizable. As you can see, I customized the wallpaper to be a picture of my car. The startup logo can also be changed to a bunch of other different logos. Mine's currently the Subaru logo, and I think the only other options are like different car brand logos, but I haven't really gotten into that yet. Even the entire head unit theme and stuff can be changed through third-party downloads through the Play Store. I'm not connected to the internet right now, so I can't really show you guys, but some popular ones I've seen, some popular apps I've seen for you to change your themes are Nova Launcher and Car Web Guru. And if I recall, I think both of them take a bit of time to customize it or build your layout from scratch. So do keep that in mind. I chose to stick with the default theme because number one, I like the way it looks, and number two, I mainly use the Carplay interface, so I really don't worry about this too much. So more on that in a bit. So unlike the stock Subaru head unit, which did have some but very limited sound options, this head unit offers fully customizable sound settings. I would say one of the biggest features that made me satisfied with this product was that it had way better sound quality. Like I said, the customization variations are practically limitless, and this setting right here takes the sound system from a 10 out of 10 to basically like a 15 out of 10. I won't show it to you right now because it doesn't translate well on video. I'll let you guys explore that yourself. But yeah, compared to the stock head unit, this sound system is way more better. So one of the biggest things that made me get this head unit. Another thing a lot of people are probably going to ask me or wonder about when looking for an aftermarket head unit is if the steering controls work for this head unit. And by steering controls, I obviously mean these buttons right here, you know, the volume, the call, source buttons, all that. And so the answer is yes. So if I bring you guys over to here, it's called Wheel Key Study. You could basically go ahead and pair every single button on your steering control to any function on this head unit. So right now I have basically the same functions as if it was stock. So volume is the same, play, pause, skip are the same. I mean, wouldn't really be a point of getting an aftermarket head unit that doesn't support steering wheel controls, or else you'd kind of have useless buttons. So thankfully there's that. So I know another question that I might get, or I know I was asking when I was looking for aftermarket head units, is does this head unit support our rear view camera? And the answer will be yes. If I could go in reverse for you guys, you'll see that it does support it. This head unit comes with the harness needed for the rear view camera. It comes with everything. It basically comes with everything you need. This head unit is very plug and play, so the installation was very simple. I think the hardest part about the installation was literally taking out the stock head unit, because you gotta mess with some screws that are like deep inside crevices and that kind of stuff. But this head unit was very simple. If you guys can see, the image is kind of stretched and blurry. I think this is because the stock head unit screen was so much smaller, and this screen is obviously larger, that it's forced to kind of stretch the image. Really isn't a deal breaker. Doesn't look too bad in my opinion, and it's not like we spend most of our time driving backwards. If you do spend most of your time driving backwards, then this head unit isn't for you. But again, not really a deal breaker. Don't really mind it too much. So the next main feature, and the one that I basically use the most, is CarPlay. Personally, in my stock head unit, it didn't support CarPlay, so I felt like I was missing out a lot. So when I was looking for an aftermarket head unit, I made sure that it either had CarPlay or was compatible. I'm going to link this head unit in the description so you could see for yourself what I'm going to describe. But on the page, you'll see that they offer multiple options. And the higher the storage / RAM / features, the more expensive it is. My head unit didn't come with CarPlay. I know you might be thinking, didn't you just say that you made sure that it came with CarPlay? Yes, and let me explain. So there is an option to buy this unit with CarPlay, but it isn't exactly CarPlay, and it was around $120 more expensive than what I paid for. What I mean by it isn't CarPlay is that it's actually a Chinese program called Z-Link that emulates CarPlay. And I had no problem with Z-Link, and a lot of videos that I watched researching about this head unit also had no complaints about Z-Link. The reason why I chose to get it without CarPlay was because I found a CarPlay dongle that supported wireless CarPlay for $77, which saves me a significant amount of money. I actually have the dongle right here. Oops, sorry. I have the dongle right here. It's called the Carlinkit. But yeah, I'll link the CarPlay dongle in the description as well. But I recommend you do your own research and see if the trade-off is worth it for you. Like I said, I found that having the dongle would be less expensive than getting the option with CarPlay, so that's exactly what I chose. And again, there's nothing wrong with the Z-Link program. And so the CarPlay dongle runs from the back of my head unit through my glove compartment for easy access. And so this head unit also comes with its own GPS and Wi-Fi antenna. So you could use the internet if you're on your phone's hotspot, or if you drive through a Starbucks and use their Wi-Fi. And you could use their GPS system for road trips. If you have CarPlay, you probably wouldn't be using their GPS system because you'll probably be using Maps or Google Maps. But the feature comes at no extra cost. And I think this also came with its own SD card. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, so you have those 3 features that come with this head unit at no extra cost. And another small thing you could do with this head unit, which is kind of subtle but also really nice, is if I could find it here, you could kind of change the color. So if I turn on my headlights, you'll see that it's kind of red. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can go ahead and, you know, change those colors if it works. It's kind of green right now. You can't really see it, so sorry guys, but yeah, so there's that. Alright, what's up guys? We're gonna do a quick little time travel. We're here at nighttime now. I was editing the video and I realized that you guys really couldn't see anything happening right here, so I'm here to re-record this. So as you can see, we're on the same menu, and yep, there we go. You can kind of see how the lights changing as you, I mean, it's a small subtle little feature. I have it all red to match kind of the lights that are already on my car, you know, the stock lights and stuff like that, but you're free to express your emotions through these colors. But yeah, it's just a nice small little feature that I thought was pretty cool, subtle but cool. So yeah, back to the regular video. Alright, and so to wrap it all up, I'm just going to give a quick pros and cons list. They're mainly going to be about things that I already listed in this video. So pros that, in my opinion, make this head unit a must-have is obviously this bigger screen. You know, you have more real estate, you use your apps a bit more, the increased number of features, accessibility, settings, and customizable features. The sound system, again, is a drastic improvement, and you have access to a whole lot of apps that you could grab through Google Play in here if you want. Cons, there are very few, and none of these really are a game changer for me, but they are still worth mentioning. So biggest con for me is that it takes about 20 to 40 seconds for the unit to boot up, and also additional 15 seconds for the Carplay to connect automatically. But usually by the time, you know, I put my wallet and phone down, switch out my glasses and sip some water, it's already booted. So not a big thing, but you know, that 20 to 40 seconds still is a bit annoying. Next con, and something I already mentioned but it's not really a big deal, is the quality of the backup camera. Again, it's a bit stretched and blurry, but you know, I can live with it. I think no matter what aftermarket head unit you get, if the screen is bigger than the stock, you're gonna have this problem unless you also get an aftermarket rear view camera. But you know, that kind of is too much work for me, and I'm kind of content with how it is right now. The last con that I could think of is that the USB outlet in here in the glove box, not the glove box but the armrest thing, it no longer works, so it can't charge my phone through the USB in there. Honestly, I have no clue why it is. Maybe it has nothing to do with the head unit and I screwed up something during the installation. But my best guess is there's probably a harness or adapter in this new head unit that doesn't have a connection to the outlet. Again, it's not a deal breaker, but maybe it's not the head unit's fault, but it still kind of sucks. I know I said it was the last con, but this last con is that when this head unit came, the fitment wasn't perfectly right. It fits perfectly now, but initially you're gonna have to kind of trim a little bit of the plastic from the back and from like the tabs and stuff like that. This head unit was made for WRX and Forester. It just happens to also fit in the Crosstrek Impreza. So if you do have a Crosstrek Impreza, you might have to trim just a bit of the plastic for it to fit snugly inside. Some people say they don't have to trim anything at all and it fit perfectly. Maybe it's case by case, but yeah, just keep that in mind too. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope this showcased and reviewed this head unit extensively enough, and hope this also helped make your decision on buying an aftermarket head unit easier. The link to the head unit as well as the CarPlay dongle will be in the description too. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them in the comments. Again, I'm planning on growing the channel and taking it seriously, so if you have any video ideas or something you'd like to see from my car, feel free to give them the suggestion down below. Subscribe and like if you wish, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.